Hi everyone, today we're gonna party like it's 1995 again. You see, I found this 100 feet roll of Kodak Tri-X, which is my favorite film, and it has expired in 1997, meaning this is the type of film I should have been using in 1995. That's why I'm gonna take my Yashica FX3 Super 2000. Yeah, in the late 90s, the 2000 was all over the place. You get computer 2000, shoes 2000, the pizza 2000, everything was 2000. It was modern, it was hip. It came out of fashion in 2001, but anyways, I'm going to walk you through the city I loved when I was a kid, the city of Mons in Belgium. And we're gonna take pictures using expired film of the places I used to love hanging out when I was a teenager. But remember, we are in the city, so if you get suddenly a close-up of my shoes, it means that I'm pointing the camera down because I met someone I know, or the police asking me what am I doing in the city with a film camera in one hand and a video camera in the other one. And I think I'm not gonna use this 90s camcorder to make this video, but hey, it was a nice intro. Let's go. Okay, that's better, and now that's perfect. I hand-loaded 36 exposure into a film canister, and I had second thoughts about using the Yashica. You see, I only have a 50mm, so I took this one, the Canon EOS 50E, because I can use a wide-angle lens for the project I'm making. So that's the way we go. Yep, well, at least the good thing about this is I won't have to blur someone else's face, so they won't be recognized. So here we are in Mons. Yeah, the streets are kind of empty because we're still in a semi-lockdown here in Mons. It's gonna be over soon. We are on a Friday. Usually the streets are packed, but the monument you saw here is what we call the Beffera, and it's a staple of the city. So it's gonna be our first pick. Bell Land. Not sure they know the other meaning of it. Even though the Tri-X is a 400 ISO film, I set the camera at 125. You see, expired film have the tendency to lose their sensitivity over time. It's usually about half the sensitivity each decade. So the first 10 years of expiration, you can basically use them and no worries. 10 years and more, it's kind of nice to divide the sensitivity by a factor of 2. And this one is expired for 23 years, so 125 ISO will give me enough contrast without having to push the processing. So there it is. It used to be where the Mediatek was. You see, when we were kids, records were kind of expensive, and here we could rent some records for something like 50 cents a piece. So here we are, the Grand Place of Mons, with the Easter decoration. This is some kind of a secular city, and there's a lot of photography opportunities in here. And just have a look at this. Even though the COVID restrictions made it somehow difficult to move out, they still put up these decorations, and it's heartwarming. Don't walk on the grass, smoke it. The restaurant right behind me used to be a record shop, Rive Gauche, and they were selling alternative music, and I used to spend a lot of cash over there. The seller was very knowledgeable about alternative music, and yeah, it's definitely a walk down memory lane. So this street has no mask mandate, so I'm gonna have a Red Bull and yeah, continue the trip. So this is the town's monkey. It's a statue of a monkey, and it's usually a sign of good luck if you touch his head. see, this city is filled with a lot of young people because there's a lot of schools in here. There's a med school, polytechnicians, nurses, and I forgot a lot of them. Sadly enough, a lot of shops are shutting down business, and it's kind of a shame, just in case you need a mask. So right here they painted the pavement in multiple colors, just like that. It's just beautiful. I think, even though it's a black and white film, we're gonna take some pictures. When you're a kid from the countryside like me, there's usually nothing to do where you live, so the city was like paradise on earth, because there were so many shops, so many things to do. I used to call it a city that never sleeps, and in a way it's true. There was always something to be done in Mons. Rue Notre Dame. Nowadays it's known to be the entrance of the Primark shop parking lot, but when I was a teenager there was the street where we had a shop that was selling film, blank cassettes, blank media for very cheap. I used to go very often over there, and they even processed films, color film and black and white, for a very decent amount of money. So yeah, I'm gonna try to document where this shop was, because it's been closed for a while now. Right behind me is a convenience store with a DVD logo, and it used to be a video rental store, but before it was a photography shop, and in a way it's where this video really begins, because JP, the owner of this shop, told me about a film that could be useful if you want to push it, and that was very good for concert photography and also now photojournalism. This film was the Kodak Tri-X, and the year was 1999. So in a way, I could have bought this roll of film right here in 1999. Sadly, like a lot of shops, it closed down, but let's document it. You see, guys, this is why I like the 90s so much. You could do anything and people didn't care. This shop owner was afraid that I was taking a picture to berate him on the internet because, yeah, someone has ill intentions. Anyway, back in the 90s, it was nothing like that. It was, hey, someone is taking a picture, so be it. It was an easier time to be alive. You see, this was some kind of an easy shot. The first picture I didn't ask, and then I asked these guys, hey, can I take a picture? You look pretty nice in sitting there. And they said, yes, of course. And it was pretty cool, I mean. And that's the end of the film. So we're gonna go back home and process this film in D76 film developer, and hopefully it will turn out fine. So I'm back from the city and I processed the film with a classical developer, D76, using a Kodak's recommendation. I did not try anything fancy by processing the film, and the results are fine. In fact, we have some kind of a mask, which was to be expected, especially for high ISO films, and I don't think it's gonna be a problem with the scanner. We might get a little bit of grain from the image, but once again, this has to be expected. But it's not the last time we are doing this, because in a few weeks I plan on using this Kodak Tri-X Pan. It's 125 ISO that has expired in 1984. So it's gonna be funny to look at this one and see how it compares to the Tri-X. Once again, I'm pretty happy with the results, because it's a high ISO film, and if you want to shoot expired film, high ISOs can be a little tricky and they degrade a little faster. So anyway, that's all I have for you today. As always, thank you for watching, and hope to catch you next time with this one. See ya.